So let's face it, the best pool vacuum is the one that's going to remove the most stuff that you want to get out of your pool without removing all the chemicals and all the stuff that you put in the water to make the water be good. So this is a good example. Now, this stuff in the bottom that you see down there, that ugly looking black stuff, well, that's exactly what it is. It's ugly looking black stuff. You want to get it out without stirring it up so that it gets all infused with the water. So I found this thing. This is a Walmart pool blaster. It cost me about $100. And I've got a long pole. Literally, this pole will extend so that I can stand here on the deck and reach the far corners of my little 9x18 pool. This thing is called an Animal, trademark. And a button here allows you to pull this handle out and extend it. I'm going to show you exactly how I use it. So what I'm going to try to do is pull up this stuff without disturbing the water too much. So I'm going to just turn this on. And one thing I want you to notice about this and why it's important to have this long pole is that I can stand right here and literally work my way up and down the sides of the pool over there. So anything that's gotten on the pool side, I can go ahead and clean that right off before it grows and gets any bigger. I can also let this out so far that I can take it all the way down there where that little pile of stuff is and clean it up the same way. You might have noticed, you might be able to tell there's a little cloud of dirt that's being blown around by this thing disturbing the water. One of the nice things about this is if you leave it down there, it will suck the dirt in eventually. Some of this stuff that goes into this thing will blow out through the exhaust port. But again, if you let this hover in the same area there, whatever dusty, I call it dust, but although dust wouldn't exist in water, the dusty stuff you can vacuum up. And with this long pole, see, I can take this all the way over. I can work up and down the sides. I can work over to the corner. I can do all of that while standing in this one spot, so I don't have to run all around the pool. For the money, actually, even because I haven't tried, you could probably buy a more expensive vacuum like this, but for the money, that's the thing that gets the most bad stuff out of the pool. Now there is a vacuum, and I'll show you one, that works off of water pressure. Oh, I just happen to have one right over here. It mounts on a pole that attaches to a water hose. It squirts water down into here and then reverses it up into here, so that when that water comes up here, it forces the water through this bag and hopefully catches the dirt. The problem with this is that this doesn't catch all of the dirt. A lot of the dirt just blows back into the pool. The other problem is that to clean this bag is kind of horrific, because you gotta handle the bug stuff and stuff. You gotta take the bag off, you gotta reverse the bag. And I used to reverse the bag, put it back on here, take it out of the pool and let it blow the stuff off the outside of the bag. But that's a lot, and it's nasty. And it's because it's adding water to the pool, then the excess water runs off and takes with it chemicals and stuff like that. Another similar vacuum tool is one that I have over here. It amounts to a very long hose. But you might notice there's a very long hose sitting there at the bottom of the pool. And the idea of that very long hose is you fill it full of water and put your hand over the end and take the end down the hill so that water runs out. And then you use this little vacuum head to suck stuff off the bottom of the pool. But again, you're handling, I don't know, 20, 25 feet of hose full of water without losing the suction, and you're pulling all the water out of the pool and sending it out across the backyard, thus losing the chemicals and stuff you put in here. Now, using that rig that I showed you, that little vacuum cleaner, this water's pretty clean. If you look in the sunlight, you can see some bugs on top of it. And basically, you get rid of them with your skimmer. And you go to your pump and you put your skimmer on recirculate, and you start it up. And the skimmer pulls those things. See that bug there going right into it? Well, it pulls those right off the top. So that takes care of that. I can also later run the filter. Oh, I could run it now. To also filter the water. And of course, if you've got a filter, you've probably had to learn how to backwash and flush and rinse and do a whole kind of stuff. But for the money and for the amount of work and trouble, I haven't found anything more effective than this cheap Walmart vacuum cleaner. And I'm going to show you just how much dirt is in that. See, this is my big, I say big, this is my Alper Seagull SE, which I will put in the pool after I do this. And it'll run around and kind of wash down, vacuum down the side of the pool. Well, let's take this one out. I want you to see how much dirt is in that. This thing, this is all covered in slimy dirt. In fact, let's just walk it over and I'll show you how easy it is to wash that slimy dirt off of here. So the first thing I'll do is take this off. I can dump all that out. And now we've got all of this dirt. Well, all of that dirt comes off pretty easy, and I don't have to touch anything. I can just hold this out, get my water hose, and do this. And see, I'm washing away all that dirt that used to be on the bottom of the pool. Now if I want to, I can remove this entire cone and blow air out. But I don't like to touch it before because of all this dirt. Let's wash it all off of there. It's pretty quick and easy, really. And see, now I can literally grab the cone, take it right off, turn it inside out, blow dirt through it, just blow water through it. Clean it that way. See. Stick it back on here. Sometimes I'll wash whatever dirt might have got in that. And I didn't run this enough to run the battery down. I can go ahead and recharge it. Or I could just put this and that back together, put it right back in the pool. So if you think about it, that's a lot of dirt that I've removed very quickly and very efficiently, and I haven't spent a lot of money to do it. Now, that brings me to this baby. I like this thing. This thing is cool. The Alper Seagull SE. And I usually pull all that dirt out before I even put this in. And now that I think it's probably pretty cool, I'll just hit the start button. Let her go down in the water. And there she goes. She's going to vacuum the whole bottom of the pool, work her way up the sides. Not real far up the sides, but she'll go up the sides a little bit. This is my process. This, the Walmart vacuum, I use the pool filter, which is, I run the pool filter after I've run the skinner to pull all the bugs off the top. And the pool filter is a sand filter, so when the filter gets a lot of dirt in it, I can backwash the sand filter without having to put new sand in it or anything like that. And then that gives me my pressure back, and then I can run that. This is my process, the process that I've come to make the pool be as good as it can be. Now, if you look, you can see there's stuff floating in the pool. It's in the water. That is stuff that's gotten stirred up from what I've been doing here. That stuff hopefully will either get pulled out by the pool filter, the skimmer, or it'll settle to the bottom where this Alper Seagull SE will hopefully, well, if it sits on the bottom, this will pick it up. I just wanted to give you that because recently I made many videos trying to figure out what was the best process for me. And this is the best process that I've come up with right here. Well, let's add this. I was talking about how you could look into the water and you could see that there's particles down in the water. Well, I can take this cheap Walmart pool blaster. I can start it, and I've pulled the little vacuum thing off the bottom down here, and I can just put that in the water. See how much stuff is sucking up of that? See how, can you see all that stuff going into it? That's stuff that was floating in the water. Now I can just leave it alone, leave it be, let it go. It's going to float around the pool like this, sucking up particles out of the pool. It'll do that till it runs down. I think this thing might go for about 45 minutes. And then I go through the process again, I empty it. You can already see it's that white filter in there starting to turn colors. So what I'm doing with this thing, it's just automatically sucking up particles out of the pool while the Alper vacuums the floor of the pool. That just makes the pool water cleaner, quicker. Oh, the joy. So we let this one run. I let this one run till the battery ran down on it, just floating around, sucking dirt out of the water. Honey Baby calls this Tigger, by the way. And so we got some dirt, but not a ton of it, which is a good thing because I'm hoping there's not a ton of dirt floating around in the pool, you know what I mean? But there is some, so I can wash this off and recharge it. I can either poke it back in there or just wait till tomorrow morning when I come out here to wash all this again. So, yeah, that's the plan, that's the process, that's what we do, that's how it rolls. Oh, the joy, what a beautiful day it is.